Hi, everyone. Um, I'll start the talk with a general theory. In general, to tackle problems in our professional space, I'm sure we are all used to adopting the approach that is in use since a long time. It's an industry standard or is a known formula. Even in data science, there are ample of set or predefined models or algorithms for so many use cases that it's not surprising if somebody has already done what you want to implement. But still, the results sometimes don't make sense to you, or you're just not happy about the quality of the insights. Well, this happens a lot of times when you're building data driven solutions. Sort of similar thing happened with me too. The problem statement, the huge text corpus I had with me, required me to extract themes or topics out of it. What eventually happened is what this talk is going to be all about. I thought and took a completely uncharted path for a problem statement such as topic modeling, which, by the way, is pretty standard and has established models all across the internet. The result that came out not only impressed me, although I'm probably building a lot of hype right on the first slide, but yeah, it also impressed the stakeholders because they got whole new level of dimensions into the insights, which the regular topic modeling fails to deliver. So let's dig in. Um, a little bit about me. I work in City, Singapore as a machine learning engineer. I previously held data science roles in ad tech domains. I did my master's in data science with specialization in consumer analytics from National University of Singapore. I spent about 3 years prior to my master's working for early to mid age startups and wore multiple hats of product development and analytics. As a part of giving back to the community, I mentor and guide folks who are aspiring and applying for master's studies. I mentor them with their essays, interview prep, and overall application. One fun fact about me, I'm a part of an imaginary tea cult. I don't have blood, only tea. Let me know if you want to join my tea cult. Okay, so this is how the outline of the talk that's going to look like. We will start with the what's topic modeling. We'll discuss the conventional approach. Next, I'll introduce you to the new approach that addresses the flaws of the conventional method. Towards the end, I'll give you a few pointers to further enhance the capabilities of the new approach that we are going to discuss. Topic modeling is one technique in the field of text mining. As the name suggests, it's a process to automatically identify topics present in a text object and to derive hidden patterns exhibited by a text corpus, thus assisting in better decision making. I'm sure many of you would be aware of the relevance of topic modeling, but some of the use cases are like tagging customer support tickets according to the topic, routing specific customer complaints to the relevant teams, and so much more. We'll also talk about one particular use case in the subsequent slides as well. Okay, so first we'll talk very briefly about the what's the conventional approach. Although there are many approaches for obtaining topic from a text, but LDA, also popularly known as Latent Dirichlet Allocation, is one of the most popular topic modeling techniques. A very simple explanation and a layman explanation. Latent, this refers to everything that we don't know a priori and is hidden in the data. Here, the themes or topics that document consists of are unknown. Then Dirichlet, it's a distribution of distributions. Here in the context of topic modeling, the Dirichlet is the distribution of topics in documents and distribution of words in the topic. Allocation, this means that once we have Dirichlet, we'll allocate topics to the document and words of the document to topics. That's it. That's what LDA is in a nutshell. I won't bore you with a lot of technical terminologies. But obviously, there are some flaws in LDA, and that's why I'm presenting, right? You have to decide the number of topics you want from the text before training the model. That's quite weird, right? How do you know how many topics will be able to justify all the content present in the text? Then LDA can't capture correlations. By correlation, I mean, let's say if I'm searching for a particular topic and I come across a topic that makes me want to read that article. So I would obviously be interested in another highly correlated topic that I may not know about. Next, there's no to very little context in the topics. You have to infer the context all on your own. And yeah, LDA uses bag-of-word approach, which hampers in capturing context between the words. You will know a lot more about these flaws later when I show you a counterexample. Okay, so now we have gone through what's topic modeling, what's LDA, and what are some of its flaws. One of the flaw that we discussed was lack of context in the topics, churned out by LDA. So let's look at contextual topic modeling. First, I'll help you visualize what's a contextual topic. Imagine a scenario where you know the prominent theme that is present in the text that you are analyzing, such as Saturday or kids in, let's say, restaurant reviews. Now visualize what people are writing about or around those themes, such as Saturday brunch. And the actual review could be I went to have brunch on Saturday with my family. Similarly, great kids menu. And the actual review could be the restaurant had a great kids menu. That's your topic. Yeah. So the point is the overarching themes, which in this example, Saturday and kids, plus finding the most probable phrase that occurs in the context of the theme. In this case, Saturday brunch or great kids menu. These things together constitutes the contextual topic. Saturday kids that you saw in the last slide were possible because of something called named entity recognition. It locates and classifies an entity into predefined categories such as person, product, organization. Then comes the phrases like Saturday brunch, kids menu available, which are called collocations. These are phrases or expressions that are highly likely to co-occur. Together, these two components constitute the essence of a new way to approach topic modeling. I'm going to quickly run through the data pipeline that I used for my example. I used TripAdvisor reviews. For EDA, I just used the general off-the-shelf um, libraries. But most prominently, for the models, I use Spacey for its language model. I use DPavlov. It's a deep learning library for performing named entity recognition. Basically, it's a library in which you can do a lot of NLP tasks, but I use that library for NER. Then I used NLTK for collocations. The data set that I used was Sentosa attraction reviews on TripAdvisor. There were about 900,000 words present in about 27,000 reviews. I performed NER on the data, which led to the discovery of the entities within the text. So the table that you see on the right column of the slide, it describes the NER table. The entities extracted from NER are represented in that table, like person, date, day, organization. For example, if I perform NER on the sentence, I ordered cake for my wife on our anniversary at Sentosa. So here, NER will be able to identify cake as a product entity, wife as a person, Sentosa as a location, and anniversary as an event. Cool, isn't it? So the next step was to implement collocations and extracted 2 to 3 words surrounding each entity. That's how we got topics of phrases like kids menu available, uh, celebrate girlfriend birthdays, etc. We'll look at those examples in the upcoming slides. So what you see here is a tree map visualization. One thing to note about this kind of visualization is that the darker the color, you can expect that particular topic in the box to be more prominent in the text. This particular tree map visualization is just made out of the themes present in the day entity and the collocations present around the day word. Okay, now I'll explain you the power of this technique and how contextual topic modeling helped my stakeholders take better decisions. We see that there's a lot more conversation around Mother's Day in the reviews, even more than the Valentine's Day. This allows digital marketers to target and run promotions and campaigns on Mother's Day as well, an insight that might not be known to the marketing team, but now a valuable insight, all because of a contextual topic modeling that could dig what people are writing around the day theme. It's highly likely that for Valentine's Day, only a couple might visit the restaurant, but for a Mother's Day celebration, a whole family might visit, thus leading to more revenue per marketing dollar. So you see the power of the kind of insight that this contextual topic modeling is bringing onto the table. Another example, there's a lot of chatter around weekend mornings, Sunday morning being the most talked about. Ironically, avoid mornings also stood out. Thus, it implies that people who visit the place on weekend mornings and find a lot of rush, they also write about avoid morning hours. This kind of contextual topic modeling also helps you understand When does your audience visit your place and avail your services? It's a great insight to have for your campaigns and tapping the behavior of your customers and audience. Another great insight to know uh, is who are your customers. Birthday celebrations by girlfriend, boyfriend indicate younger demographics. This can help you frame your target audience and plan promotional campaigns accordingly. For the same dataset, the 5 topics are extracted using LDA are as shown. As you'll go through the topics, you will see that it's up to you how you want to make sense of your topics and stitch your story when you use LDA. But that's not the case when with the technique that I demonstrated. So we saw a lot of evident differences between the topics found via LDA and the tree map visualization showing the contextual topics. A few things are pretty clear. The topics, even though with fewer words than the one given by LDA, are much more meaningful and interpretable. The variety of topics is way more in the case of NER and collocations. The example you saw in the previous slide was just of the day theme. We could pull out several themes and find topics around those. You would have observed that I mentioned interpretable topics. Interpretability is the thing that your stakeholders, your business would love to know. Um, But nothing is everything is not rosy. There's one problem though. It's not a problem, but more of a tedious task. One has to cherry pick the entities of interest from the NER exercise. So, for example, person entity may have several themes, such as wife, husband, boyfriend, girlfriend. The entity might have all days of the week. So, the point is that you have to keep discussing with your stakeholders. This is more of a solution to tackle this tedious task. The more you discuss with your stakeholders, like what they want to know, who are their customer base, do they want to know whether people come to their place on a weekday afternoon or evening? Once you know these kind of information from the problem statement, it becomes a lot more convenient to comb through the entities. One possible enhancement in this technique is performing sentiment analysis. For example, knowing whether people express negative or positive sentiment around a review like watch divers feeding marine life. It can change the narrative of the marketing campaign. So, from behavioral insights like who are your customers, how many of them visit or avail your services, what are they interested in, what do they buy, what activities do they engage with, it can help you understand your offline and online audiences both. So this wraps up my presentation. I hope you took away something meaningful and something to explore beyond the traditional approaches of traditional uh, topic modeling. You can find actual code samples on my blog, and yeah, you can reach out to me over LinkedIn, Twitter, DM me. Just feel free to shoot questions or connect, or even share with me your thoughts. Would be glad to know. Um, your takeaways from this presentation. Thank you.